Oh, okay. So romantic love versus divine love. And I know there's a huge difference, but there doesn't have to be. And so Jala and I were watching, and I will send this to you, Samantha. We were watching the BBC version of Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Unbelievable. What a great show.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
But we're talking about romantic love in that situation. And of course, in the day, everybody was so uptight, really. They,
Good description.
I mean, you you couldn't kiss a man, I don't think, until you were married. And
Mhm.
At least not in public anyway.
Right.
Right.
there it is. There it is. Yeah.
You can better believe there was a lot of kissing going on.
Yeah.
Behind the
Always,
curtains.
always.
Yeah.
At
So,
McCaskey, there was the Lost Wing.
what is do you have the quote by Alan Watts right there, Jala? Maybe
No, and if
I'll
I
find it.
try to get it, I'll lose you. So
Yeah, let me try because,
your technology is probably better.
oh, I have good technology. Oh my God. So, he is so good. And Alan Watts, you're all familiar with him?
Yes.
Wasn't he philosopher back in the day?
Yes.
Was it, what did you say?
Wasn't he a philosopher back in the day?
Yeah,
You
he
could call him that, yeah.
friends
In the
with
60s.
Friends with Ram Dass. Um,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yes. Um, he was a very interesting man. Sometimes I didn't quite understand what he was talking about, but but it's very deep. There's no doubt about that. But Ram Dass's guru told him that he must love everybody, everybody. And I even have a hat from Ram Dass's. It says love everybody. And I gave one to Ellen, my friend Ellen Williams, as she was dying, and she was wearing this hat that said love everybody. But it is a it is a beautiful way to live, is to love everybody, no matter what. They might be a little hard, and
Oh, yes. That's a tough one.
it might be a little hard in today's political environment, which is why I stopped watching the news for the last, what, 5, 6 days. The only, the only thing I
Well,
got,
it's easier to love them then.
it's easier to love everybody if you're not watching the news.
Right.
Yeah.
But I did catch this. I caught this one detail that the leader of China on Trump's way out of the country, he gave him a bag of rose seeds to
Hmm.
dig in what he has done to the rose garden at the White House.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
subtle.
yeah. I don't think the world looks kindly on Trump.
they should not.
No, no, no.
But that's different than not loving him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think no, nobody really loves him. That's probably part of his problem. He is an unloved individual. He's mostly
That's
feared. He's feared.
probably always has been.
Yeah. And then people who are not loved are in kind of a jeopardy. They don't know what it means to be loved or to love. And although when you bring up the topic, people are warm up to it and they want to talk about it philosophically.
Dr. King talked about it.
Yeah.
He called it agape,
Yes.
which is loving unconditionally.
Hmm.
And and for somebody like Trump, that's the only way to love him
Yeah.
Yes,
would
it
be
is.
unconditionally.
It
And
is
it would
true.
also have to be a very spiritual practice, which it might take, some effort.
Yeah, like a couple of lifetimes.
And then the moment that we start to love Trump, maybe we don't have to come back anymore.
Mm.
I don't know. So,
I think that, there's a big distinction between love and like. You can love people and not like them.
That's right.
That's very true,
And
Drew.
and so that's kind of part of it. And uh I know that in the community, when I lived in the community, there were people who I just could not tolerate to be around, and that was kind of part of they call it, the friction that you use to work on yourself, like if it were easy, then
Mhm.
you wouldn't explore things, you wouldn't challenge yourself, you wouldn't do things. And one of the things that I did to work with developing relationships with people who I couldn't tolerate, I would view them like I would say, oh, I have a spatial relationship with them. So I would focus on, oh, we are in the room together.
Hmm.
Like we're just like a spatial relationship.
yeah.
And that was sufficient in many ways. It really took a lot of it gave me a starting point,
Mhm.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Yes. Yes.
Sort of like step by step, huh?
Yeah, step by step.
Yeah. Well, I think about that with the Trump and all his cronies that at least I'm kind of working on maybe just keeping my mind on somehow peace coming about, as a result of all this.
Yes.
Like this meeting with China, I mean, it could go in so many different ways in the future. But
Hmm.
if it could be a peaceable solution, that would be amazing. It'd be a miracle.
It would be a miracle.
Aren't we
For sure.
already at peace with China? I mean, I thought that we were at peace with China in terms of,
Well, it's wobbly. Yeah, it's precarious.
I think we were at peace with Iran until this
Yeah.
thing.
yeah, we
It's
were
true.
until
Yeah. Right.
Trump decided to bomb them,
And
Mm.
you
he had
know.
no way to understand. He doesn't understand the culture. He doesn't understand the resilience of the people and of the leaders. He just doesn't.
Hmm.
So,
No.
Yeah.
and he hasn't bothered to study that. That's
He's a
real
one-trick
narcissist.
pony. He only knows how to bully people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
I
Yeah.
Bully
think
Yeah.
people and
bullying China would not be easy. And bullying Iran hasn't worked either.
No,
right.
we are in trouble there. Um, but his visit to China was over you would say by his statement about not caring about the American people's um,
Right.
financial
Accurate.
stuff that took over the whole trip to China. Nobody cared about his stupid trip to China. Everybody wondered about
Yeah.
what he meant by not caring about our financial problems. I mean, the rising gas costs and the rising grocery costs and all this kind of stuff. Everything is so expensive. So,
What is there to like wonder about, like what he meant about I don't care about your it's pretty plain,
Pretty clear.
pretty clear.
I know because that is very clear, like you said. And they were asking the Republicans on the Capitol steps what they thought. They says, well, maybe it was taken out of context. Or I'll have to, I don't know what he meant. I mean, it's pretty clear what he meant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his niece, Mary Trump, says he was never loved a moment in his life.
Wow.
Good.
Well, maybe if he knew what love was, he might not be such a bully. He might have he might come around a little bit.
He
Right.
is
That's
very
kind of
much
her
like,
point is that he doesn't have any options.
Yeah, yeah.
He
yeah,
doesn't have options, you
No.
know.
he is
Yeah.
so much like a child. So he has such a childlike and childish mentality. It's
He does.
amazing.
Maybe.
He does. That's a good point. And so we have to, I guess the person that we really have to try to love is Trump. And as somebody just mentioned, maybe the best way to do that is to stop watching the news.
I think there might be better ways to work on this.
Well, you're not going to get away from the news because Kay is really into the news. And so you can't, I mean, even I can't get away from the news. I have all these settings that are set up in this computer, and suddenly something will come up and say, uh, Trump is going to kill off the buffalo population in order to bring in, cows or
Yeah,
some steers
right.
and
And
that
also
hurts.
take,
That hurts.
yes, it does, and take away the laws and rules about killing or hunting in national parks,
Yeah.
Yes,
being able
yeah.
to do that. So basically, if I see somebody with a Trump hat on,
Hmm.
and when I go to the gym, I do know that there's some Trumpers there.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me to try to feel good about them than him,
Oh,
because
good.
there are
Yes.
people that I have to
Have
see and
contact.
feel
Yes.
in contact with. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's a good point, and
So,
I really appreciate it because this Sunday I'm meeting with all of Tom's relatives, and we're going to be,
uh-huh.
and they're all for
Oh,
Trump. They're all for Trump, and so
Right.
I think the wisest move is just not to talk about it.
It
But
is.
Faisal is so bent out of shape about everything concerning the Mideast. I'll just tell him, don't say anything, just relax, basically.
Yeah. Well,
So
there
did you,
you have something ready made in common with these people on Sunday anyway.
Yes,
yes,
their mother and their uncle.
right, right.
Hmm.
So that's a
Um,
big enough challenge to me. We don't have to go for the big guy. Can just start
Yeah,
working with
right.
the
Hmm.
ones we have to come in contact with and try to smooth it out, because I did get into trouble at the pool when I assumed that these two right wingers were talking in from the perspective I have. And then I
Yeah.
jumped in thinking that they were thinking like me. And then I got in trouble immediately. And then one time I went to the pool, and the guy in the pool who had been in that conversation said to somebody else, "Oh, she's the one." I thought, "Oh, brother, I'm going to change gyms," but that might not work. There might be Trumpers there too. So I just have to look for the ones that I can agree with, who I see at the marches or something like that. But anyway, to me, it's a small thing. It's starting with the people that like Tom's relatives. Um, and they're the ones that need the agape.
yeah, I think they do. Well, then on top of that, they're very heavy duty right-wing Christians. But
Right?
on the other hand, I did go to a gathering of people about Tom's sister after she died. And it was a wonder. Nobody was talking politics, and everybody, I really did bond with Tom's nephew, who I am excited is coming because Guthrie, our son, is coming, and the two of them haven't probably ever hardly met. There's no contact with these people. And so in
Yeah.
some ways, that's not good, but it is what it is, of course. And
Hmm.
so we will
Oh,
work on
hmm.
that bonding thing, and they can talk about the past, and we can talk about the amazing character of both Vicky and Tom. They were characters. I mean,
Yes.
they were unusual people. And
That's a good opening. Yeah.
Yes.
yes, and
Mm.
right behind me are the steps leading down to the river. And
Uh,
my friend my friend David came over the other day. But I think that he came down to the farm the other day and we were cleaning off the steps. But my situation is such that I'm not as agile as I used to be. And going down those steps, and nobody else is going to want to go down the steps because nobody else is going to want, and maybe I'm making as an assumption, but I don't really know anybody who really wants to handle ashes of any kind. So
Well, maybe her family will want to.
that's a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've had to handle ashes, friends' ashes, my
Yeah.
dog's ashes. That's the extent of it, but I did do that.
And mom's ashes were on the bookcase of 248 for quite some time
Yeah.
before Tom. Oh, in fact, Fred brought that up today.
Uh,
Our cousin Fred brought it up about what happened. I shouldn't really be talking about this. But when Delaney dispersed, my brother Delaney dispersed the ashes into the Atlantic Ocean, a splinter went into his testicles of his mother. So,
What?
yeah,
Isn't that like just so completely like symbolic, huh?
yeah,
Yeah,
seems so.
yeah.
Yeah.
yes, and even Fred says, well, Delaney was a Phi Beta Kappa, and he was a very smart guy. Doesn't he know that there's a wind at the ocean?
Oh my
I
God.
said,
You have to
well,
get behind the wind to have the ashes go in the right
you
direction.
want him to go out like that? Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah, right.
I think
I'll be back in a minute.
everybody has ash stories, you know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and some are more dramatic than others. I think Delaney takes the cake on being dramatic, as usual.
Yes.
He said that was my final goodbye to my mother, that final parting prick.
Well, yes, I
It's
know.
so funny when he performed that scene. People couldn't believe what they were hearing.
I bet.
What was that a part of? Was it a reading of some sort or?
It was in his play, The Luna Project.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know we were going to start talking about that, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
You changed the subject. But
Yes.
anyway, I think that's to me, that's where to start. Well, I don't need to, I hear his voice and I know he's being Trump and I just leave the room. I mean, just, okay, bye-bye. I'm not dealing with him. I cannot. So
It
learning
helps
to
if you
love
turn the
him.
sound off.
What's that, Sam?
It helps if you turn the sound off.
Well, yeah, but my husband is way into the news and
Yeah, can't do that.
right. So I just but he has noticed my absence a lot. have my own spots here.
Right,
My
right.
daughter just turns the TV off, the sound off.
Yeah, I think he does that too, though. He doesn't like him either. So
Oh yeah, yeah. He's
so I
just
don't
trying to
know.
know.
Anyway,
He's just trying to know what the news is and trying to be up
right,
on
right.
it. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and listening to other people's opinions, more into the podcasters than the
Mm-mm.
actual what
My
the
ex is crazy.
pundits are saying.
I
Yeah.
mean, there are some good people on MSNB. I know what is it called? MS Now.
MSN. Yeah.
They
I'll,
are
Oh,
I'll,
they're
I'll
good
walk in
people.
yeah.
if Senator Booker, did I get that right?
Not
Is on,
mhm.
or Westmore.
Yeah,
He's the governor of Maryland.
yeah, I
There's
like
certain
Hmm.
people I will go listen to because they have a lot to say that matters to me. But if somebody's on there that has things to say that don't matter to me, I don't gravitate there.
Yeah.
well, I don't think other sideism is the answer anymore. To constantly talk about Trump's point of view. I mean, it's worthless. So
No,
I
yeah,
don't
it is.
people may
Yeah.
do that still, but I don't
Yeah,
think it's a good idea.
right, right. So, yeah, so let's go back to smaller things, thinking about love, spiritual or um romantic.
Yeah, romantic love, right.
Right.
or just
Well, I've had some
spiritual?
romantic love that ended poorly,
Hmm.
and I had to turn around and love that person anyway because there's so many things about him that mattered to me, his opinions, his intelligence, his handsomeness. I mean, so many things that I loved. And to
Mhm.
turn around and hate him or be angry at him was not going to work for me.
No.
Mhm.
So I had to switch that off and learn agape,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it worked well for me,
Well,
Yeah.
very
that's
well.
when love goes deep, then, when it gets deep.
Right, right. To deepen that.
Yeah.
And then memoir, working on memoir brings back so many memories.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And some of them are memories you might not want to share, but it might be time to anyway.
Well,
Mm.
if you're writing a memoir and maybe if you even want to publish it, it's going to be shared.
Yeah, and I'm writing a memoir that's supposed to be published, and I have a deadline coming up in June to finish
Oh,
it.
Wow.
no
Well, what
kidding.
well,
Good.
it's called Storyworth. And my daughter Heidi gave me Storyworth for Mother's Day or my birth, no, Mother's Day last year. That's why the deadline's coming up in June.
Yeah.
How nice.
And yeah, so one of the prompts on it was did you a decision that you made that seemed very small at the time that became very large
Great
actually.
question.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, so I'm working on that one. I'm
Mm.
on my junior year in college now.
Okay. That's a
So
Storyworth. Is that who runs that? Who's the head of
it's
that?
out of Philadelphia. I know that much.
Uh-huh.
But you could look it up, Storyworth.
There's a guy
And
named Matt Dix who might be part of that.
then I don't know.
Yeah.
But I
Mm.
do know that I keep getting prompts. And then finally the prompts were just a little too shallow for me.
Yes.
So then they said, are the prompts that you would rather have? And so I said, I started putting in my own prompts, and then I started getting the way they'd prompt that one, which one prompt was, what was it about your values that had something to do with you going to march with Dr. King?
Hmm.
Ah.
So
Mm.
actually, it was almost like they were saying, what is it about you that in your own thinking that did that? And I said, well, I
Yeah.
had to say, well, you know what? This was just part of my life. This was the way I was raised. This is who I am.
Yeah.
It's not my value that suddenly showed up. This is
Mhm.
who I am and
Yes.
who I
Hmm.
was and who my family was. And it made sense to me and I went along with it and I didn't argue and I didn't rebel. I
Right.
said yes.
Yeah.
And that question annoyed me a little bit, but I didn't try want to get too perverse about it. But it did lead me into my more perverse feelings about people thinking that I somehow read the news and thought I'd go do that.
Oh, of
No,
course. Yeah. And Dad went with you.
that was the March on Washington. This was in Philadelphia.
Okay.
The summer of I was at Fellowship Farm.
Okay.
Is that when you first started to connect with him?
Not at all. Not at all. Our mother showed me on TV during the Montgomery bus boycott, this
Mhm.
little black and white TV. She said, we have to follow that man. He's doing important things. And I
Wow.
looked on the screen and there he was. And she was right, of course, and I believed it. And I was probably in 1954, I was only 9.
Mm.
So then
Wow.
he came to Lancaster and so I remember sitting in the gymnasium at F&M on the floor, and I was one of the children of the civil rights movement. You see, here's the book. Can you see
Oh.
that? Maybe you
Ah.
can't see that backwards, but this is
Oh,
about the children of the civil rights movement because Dr. King knew that he had
Oh,
to get
that's
the
sad.
children on the streets. It was the
yeah.
children who were going to be the ones to lead the way. And so
Yeah.
the whole book, you can see how thick it is
Yes.
about that.
That's always
Somebody gave it to me out of the kindness of their heart at some kind of a Christmas party or something like that with my choir. And
Hmm.
it was the children, and he knew that. And he got the children on the street.
How
So
about that?
he really looked at the children very carefully and lovingly. And I was one of those children.
Mhm.
How about that? Huh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never knew that before in all the years I've known you. That's interesting. Hmm.
Yeah, well, she was ahead of her times in many ways.
Yeah, she was. Hmm.
So she got us, I was on the streets in the civil rights movement at a young age.
Hmm.
And Kate,
Yeah.
weren't you there too?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So, so it was just part of our upbringing. So to say, what was about your values that I said, oh man, okay, we'll work on this.
That sounds like a good thing to do. Are you going to start another year of memoir?
I've thought about doing that. That means paying for it myself.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I
why
don't think
not?
I can. Oh, we'll see. I'm
Yeah, that's
trying to,
great. That's great.
but in the end, it will be a book because
Yeah.
that's not the only one I did. I did a bunch of them
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been going on for a while.
Yes.
That's a good way to do it,
mhm.
part by part, because then it builds up.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Because our children do want to know who we are.
Yes.
And if we let them know who we are, maybe they need to know more about who we were
Yes. Yeah.
Good
and
Yeah.
point.
what our life was. And
Hmm.
so that's what Storyworth is all about. And she gave the Storyworth to uh, Greg, her husband's parents, too. And I'm not sure what they're doing with it, of course.
Right. Well, you can talk about it sometime.
Nice gift.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and I get along well with Greg's mother.
Good.
Yeah,
Let's see. Story. Is it story worthy or
Storyworth.
Storyworth.
worth? Memoir writing service. Turn your idea into a book. Professional book writing. Wow.
Ah,
Let's see how much it costs.
Yeah, what does it cost?
It says start your journey 50% off.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Such a bargain.
Do you notice that everything nowadays, if it's advertised, is 50% off? Has
yeah.
anybody
Right, right.
noticed that?
Yeah, right.
You
Yes,
never
I
see it at
have.
full
It's like
price.
the perpetual going out of business sale in New
Yeah,
York.
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Yeah, right.
Everything.
Everything, you're always going out of business.
Yep. Or it's the last one.
The last three.
Yeah. I'll tell you in a minute. Keep talking.
There's more than just this out there. This is just one of them. There's other businesses of a similar nature
Yeah,
to,
I
in
think
fact,
NPR or PBS mentions it a lot. So they must, maybe theirs is a different one.
possibly, yeah, yeah. It's a memoir
So,
thing and it's a way to get your story out.
And there
How
is
mhm.
a
about
sale.
that?
There's a sale because it's just past Mother's Day. It's a Mother's Day sale that's been extended.
Aha, yes.
And it's only $69.
Okay. Well,
That's not
Samantha, I
bad.
saw that you illustrated something that my mother sent me. I'm thinking it should be not too far away from right here, but um, it was a story that she sent me, and Samantha, you were the one that illustrated it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? It was 100 years ago. I don't
It
remember.
was many years ago. Yeah, I'll see if I have it.
Mm.
Huh.
It's not buried at the moment.
So what they do is that they publish it for you and, create a cover and create the situation. I guess you could sell it. Yeah, they do
I'm
try to
not
get,
that interested in selling it.
No.
no, no. But it's a good idea.
Mm.
How did I lose this part?
They say
Sounds
starting
like a good bargain.
well, they say starting at $69, which is basic. And then a full color one, which is 99, and then unlimited, I don't know what that means, color. Um, you can add your whole family. One
Oh my God.
one subscription one subscription covers everything. 60 minutes of guided phone interviews per storyteller, and that is $179.
And is that a
Uh-huh.
year or a month?
I think
No,
it's a year.
probably just one-time payment, I think.
Yeah, for a year.
That's not
Hmm.
bad at all.
No.
Right. So, so far I don't have very many photos in there yet. I'm thinking about how to do that.
Hmm.
I have one photo.
Yeah.
The photo of the Bromley Heath projects in Boston.
I have one of you in a demonstration that I could send you that David
I
Trimble
think
sent.
I've got some of those too.
And I think you're in a fur coat, which is interesting.
Okay, send me that one. I'm not sure the fur coat.
Well, it's not a mink coat, it's just a fur coat, probably fake
I
fur.
brought
I don't
one
know.
back from San Francisco.
They're fun.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so there it is. If anybody's interested, I can put it in the chat.
Yeah, yes.
I remember, I think to me, this is something that AI would be really good for. Is, like, I was watching something and it was some sports person that wrote a book and he goes, you may not be able to write, but you can talk. So he said
Right,
what he
right,
did is he just like got a recorder and just talked. And
right.
then he gave it to someone to transcribe because I think that was it was, before voice to text, which also needs to be reviewed. You can't just do it and expect it to be perfect. But and then you can hand it to AI and say, "Can you please organize this for me?"
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Oh,
Just dump it all in there and then say, organize this.
Yeah,
Of course, the better the more prompts you give it, the better they might organize it in alphabetical order as far as you know, but like say organize it into meaningful chapters about the different ages that I was when I did this,
Hmm.
or
yeah.
organize it based on concepts or something. Um, and uh, so that's a thing because people who think, they sit down and they want to write, they want to type, they want to write, and then there's that whole barrier there.
Hmm.
But everybody talks. We all tell our stories, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, what I have learned to do with AI is I've built a clone, meaning of myself, so that everything I fill out a form that describes my purpose, my goals, everything I'm doing online and everything I'm doing with my job. Do that, put it up. And then that's my clone. And then anything I write, I would let's say I have a topic and I can start the topic in the clone and extend it as needed, but then any other topic. So you could write a memoir out of under your clone because they know who you are. This AI gets to know who you are.
Right.
And they will fill out, they give it your voice. But
You mean literally like it'll talk to you in your own voice?
no, just literally it will use your voice. Your
As
style,
Right.
a point of view.
yes, as a
By
point of
voice, you mean
view.
point of view.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so, but I don't think it's really a good idea to write a book with AI. I don't,
No, I wouldn't want to do that.
No, I
no,
want it to be in my way.
Yes.
I didn't teach paragraph writing and essay writing and writing in college to have some AI take over my
Yeah,
voice.
really.
no,
I
no.
Yeah,
mean,
but what
please.
it does is it organizes the information for you, and then you go through and you
Yeah,
You
use
can
that
change it to
as a
you. Yeah.
starting point, and then like so that's one thing that I've done with work. That's one thing that I know bookkeepers and people
Yeah.
are using it for is to write letters to people and to create SOPs, like standard operating procedures. Like you say, oh, here's what I do, and then you dump it into AI and say, make this into a workflow chart or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
stuff
exactly.
that's not that personal, more
right,
business-like.
right,
Should do
yeah. And
that.
there's another guy who trained, he created a character. I think he called it Edgar or whatever. Forget the
Uh-huh.
name he did, but
Mhm.
he's a bookkeeper slash accountant, and he trained an AI entity to process financial information. So he feeds it like current information, like all the current magazines and things like that. So this one bot like understands everything that he wants to know about finances and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
Right, right.
he feeds it the latest financial information, and so he can ask it questions, and it has read all the magazines and says,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
Fortune 500 is saying this about that," and so I thought that
Yeah.
was interesting.
It would
Yeah.
be I used AI one time last year when I was writing a email to my cousin in Arizona, Andy. I
Yeah.
thought, I'm having a hard time writing to him because I don't like him that much and he's kind of weird. And so I just put all my ideas in and had AI make it work. And, and
So maybe AI might be a gateway for us to express unconditional love.
Yes, yes,
it
yes.
could work that
Great.
way very well, but
You
I'm
know,
not writing to him anyway.
What do you mean by how do you mean, Julia?
well, because she's got her cousin who
Yeah,
she wants to connect with and maybe loves but doesn't like, and
Yeah.
yeah,
he makes
right.
her uncomfortable. So she's
Yeah,
using AI to develop an interface that's digestible to her.
Yeah, I see. I see.
And
yeah,
because, when I go to, that's one of the biggest problems is that when we go to communicate with people who we find distasteful or we
yeah.
have objections, that comes into the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
whether
agree.
you like it or not. And I think one of the cues, one of the tricks about, again, loving people or being uh, unconditional is to
Yeah.
remove our reactions from our interactions with
hmm
them.
hmm
Yes.
Right. I used it that way.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So one of the things that I really work with um, for myself is to lift that stuff out as much as I can, you know, um, because I really want to try to relate to people as directly as possible about what's important.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right, right.
Yes.
And I find that a lot of talking or working stuff out keeps you in your head
Yeah.
and spinning, 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 spinning with, what do you call it? When you go from one thing, like reactionary thinking or things like that.
Yeah.
So I try to lift that stuff out and go right for the point that I want, the point
Right,
of contact that I want. Like I want to connect. So how do we do that? That means I've got to take out some of my distastes
Mhm.
right, right.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and things like that. When we were in Mendocino, we were there with my friends Jean and Tim from Lancaster, and
Ah.
they were talking about trying to. Jean's daughter-in-law like has trouble acknowledging gifts. She was trying to
hmm
buy a gift for her granddaughters, but the mom, like, she never knows what's going on because the mother almost never says thank you or talks about it or whatever. And so we got into this whole thing about, well, how do you work with people? And I've come to a very simple thing, like when I want to work something out, and it's kind of from that Hawaiian Kahona thing, which is that I go, I'm really sorry that's that something that I said appears to have hurt you.
Yeah.
Will you forgive me?
hmm
Yeah.
Then you don't have to talk about what you were thinking, what you were talking about, like, was I right? Were you wrong?
Yeah,
What did
right,
happen?
right.
How did we misunderstand? Because you can talk about that for like years, maybe even your entire life. When the
Yeah.
bottom line is that you want to be sitting with them in love and connection. So
Yes.
Right,
how do
right.
you like cut
Yeah.
right through to that moment as
Yeah,
quickly as
that's a good
possible?
idea. That's a good
Uh-huh.
idea.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
It's very disconcerting. Like this woman, I was at a plant sale, and this woman, I asked to get by her, and she refused to move. So I kind of squished by her, and then she like goes, "Ow, you hurt me!" And it was just the most ridiculous thing in the world. And I just said, "I'm so sorry. Would you forgive me?" And
Uh-huh.
she
Whoa.
just like she couldn't, and she kept going, "Well, but," and I said, "I'm really sorry. Could you forgive me?"
It
And
worked.
she had to walk away because she couldn't figure out what to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just didn't know what to do with it. I didn't argue, I didn't defend myself, I didn't do anything. I just said, I'm really sorry. Will you forgive me?"
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
It changes the whole scenario.
It
Yeah.
it
does,
didn't
yeah.
soften her in a funny kind of way. Usually people will soften. She
Mhm.
didn't
Yeah.
soften, she just walked away.
Yeah.
She must have been a hard cookie, boy.
Some millennial. She was very, very unpleasant. It
Yeah.
was the only way I could get through that one with her. 'Cause I
Yes.
wanted to punch her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, ladies, I'm going to have a serious test the next couple of weeks. I'm headed up to Clearfield County, which is pretty red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's full of Trump supporters.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to have to hold my tongue. I'm certainly not going to wear any of my great t shirts, but it will be a challenge.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that's where we need to begin with this
Yes,
thing.
I'm going to try.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's right. A test case.
You know,
Right, right.
the really hard thing for me is that nobody seems to take any responsibility
I know.
for all the destruction and nastiness and
Right,
corruption and
right.
turning the the anniversary of the country into a evangelical whatever and
Yeah,
Trump's
yeah.
old statue and the Jesus praying nonsense photo. And
Yes.
it's a lot. It's really a lot, and
Yeah.
I'll be working on it. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that,
Well,
ladies.
what I learned,
Well, it'll be interesting to see what you
yeah,
find, Sam.
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I have a tenant in the on the property who is a rabid Trump supporter.
Wow.
I want you to know that he's also a hoarder. He's also
Ah,
human beings I know. So it's like a split personality.
yeah. Yeah.
Any rate, have to leave, but good
Mhm.
talking to all of you.
Well,
Yes.
Yes. I
good
hope you
talking to
feel
you, Sam.
better.
Love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And
Yes.
good
Be
luck with that,
well. Be well.
with the red visit.
Yes, good luck. Hey, Patty.
yes.
My
But
question that I posed yesterday or today, I don't know, to my world was how can these billionaires think that their money is going to be worth anything if they can't clean up the environment, if they can't keep this world going, if they keep, destroying everything? Why do you need so much money if everything's going to go so haywire? Why, if you're not thinking of the future, except for how much money you have, are you going to really have any money? It's like, why?
What are you going to spend it on?
Yeah, and what's
I
it
mean,
for
Yeah.
there is
anyway?
nothing, you know.
I
it'll
know.
do nothing. Yeah.
It
It'll mean
seems so
nothing.
short-sighted, doesn't it? Very
It does.
short-sighted.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it does. And the fact that they aren't thinking like that at all. And that's the problem, I think, is they're getting different news. They're not being told the same thing. And they might not know about these things we know about. He calls it fake news. He calls it,
Yeah.
he turns the lie around to everybody else.
Yeah.
So his lies are no longer lies to them.
He's a
And
gaslighter
then,
if I ever saw it.
yeah, that's right. So that's what's hard to me is we can't, it's pretty hard to have a debate if we don't have the same information.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's like you
And
need a
that's
bridge of communication.
right. That's where I ran into it in the swimming pool. Was I talked about felonies and she said, "Oh no, no. No, no. That's all not none of that's true. They were not felonies." I looked into it. I re, I looked into it. I completely know that none of that is true. None of those felonies are true. They just made that up. So how can I
Oh,
have a conversation if what I think is true and she thinks is true
yes, yes.
aren't anywhere near?
Wow.
Yeah,
They don't meet.
yeah, like she thinks what you think is true is false, and what you
And
think
I think
what she thinks
right.
is true is false.
Yeah,
Boy,
yeah,
that's a bitch.
I know. So
Wow.
every now and then I have to see her again and we try to be friendly.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, maybe you'll find some other way to link up. That's
I
hard
don't
though.
want to, I don't want to.
Yeah, yeah.
I have no desire to become friends or move on in this relationship for even for a second. But one time she let me have a box, there's a shelf in the gym swimming pool. She was leaving that shelf and she said I could put my things there in her shelf as she took her things away. I said, thank you. I have no desire whatsoever to get to know her better or
Yeah,
need.
yeah.
yeah.
No.
That doesn't work at
Maybe we
all.
should evolve into two countries, huh?
It's been thought of.
I know. I know. Huh.
A civil war.
Definitely. It seems like a good solution. I mean, there's such intrinsic flaws right now with the structuring of America that, that states with less people than the town I live in have two senators.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
That to me is the biggest injustice that there is. Like Montana and Wyoming have two senators. They have like 300, a population of 350,000 people.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
and they've got the same number of senators as the how many million of people in California and how many
Right,
million in
right.
Oregon. And
Uh-huh.
that's really what creates the lockup in the Senate
Yeah,
is
I
yeah.
that
see.
is
Huh.
that the big states are not getting represented proportionately. And
Right.
I know the founding fathers never could have imagined that America would look the way it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
Right.
could never have imagined that the
yeah.
country would be this big and this diverse with this much disparity. And they would be appalled, I'm sure, at the way people talk about the Constitution and this and that.
Uh-huh.
I bet it would,
Uh-huh.
to me, I think they would be appalled at
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm. And then the people that don't even know about the Constitution or democracy or even care about it.
Yeah. Well, I think
So,
that people are more are looking to know what's going on because of Trump's cruelty and the way he acts.
right.
And
Yeah, yeah.
they realize that he shouldn't be the president. And but there's nothing we can do about it right now. I mean, yeah, I just have to wait it out, I guess.
Well, the midterms are coming up
Well, I
and the
already voted.
primaries.
I already
I
voted.
know, well, I have to go in and see who voted in my little district. I have a small little district responsible for. And I've got to find out how many of the people I'm responsible for have already voted.
Yes.
And then I have to go knock on the door or send a message to the ones that haven't voted and encourage them to get their ballots in.
Yes.
Mm.
So my job never ends.
Yeah, yeah.
I got Sonia's vote in. She doesn't care about it either. So I said, well, I'll vote for you, okay? And she signed it and we got that into the Dropbox.
Oregon has been doing voting by ballot for years and years and years, and I'm sure they're
Yeah,
very
by mail. Yeah, yeah,
insulted
yeah.
that anybody would want to take that away.
Yes. And nobody in Oregon agrees
No.
to take it away. Yeah, that I know of.
I mean, the The people need
Maybe
to
the
have a
person in the
say.
swimming pool doesn't care.
She probably doesn't even vote.
I have no idea. I will not ask.
No. No, no. No. Yeah, that's why I just can't deal with it right now. Uh it's just like tuning into a way of thinking, and Trump has basically railroaded everybody into thinking, for instance, the fake news thing.
Yeah,
That's his statement. Fake news, whatever it is that he says, and everybody starts, bigly is another one. Oh, that's a
yeah,
bigly blah blah. Yeah,
yeah,
stop
yeah.
it, people. Stop it. Don't do this. Yeah.
I also assume with the work you're doing, Kate, that you've got to keep a good heart.
Oh, yes.
You've got to feel kind. You've got to feel loving. You can't be angry or upset when you're trying to create solace for other people.
Well, we do pretty well. I think it's very important to monitor your tone of voice. My
Of
tone.
course. Yes.
And, you know, somebody screamed at me the other day. She was just confused. And, she has a lot of problems. And she screamed at me. And I just said, she goes, "What do you want?" And I said, "I just want to help you. That's all."
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So now we're friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Good, good.
And she
Wow.
believed you.
Yeah, because I didn't say it in a fake, I meant it. Really,
Right, right.
conditional love is something that is a spiritual practice. And so
Yes.
there are barriers to it. For instance, the way everything is falling apart here in the country. But I mean, it's our responsibility to change from within. And when we do that, the world does change.
Yes. Our world especially.
Yeah, our world. Speaking of holoponopono or whatever, there was a
Yeah.
doctor who practiced that technique in a mental institution, and he did not go and examine any of the patients. He would think about the patients and go through it. "I love you, thank you, please forgive me," that whole thing. And he
Yeah.
did it, but he did it
Um,
with his heart, and said those things with his heart. And so many, and then the mental institution closed down after a while because everybody was healed. So
Uh-huh.
it's a very powerful four-word phrase.
yeah.
And I have used it before, and I use it again because of this
Hmm.
situation, this job I have.
Yeah.
And it helps. Um, medicine is medicine, but there's a higher vibrational field that surrounds
Yes.
medicine. And
Yeah.
Yes.
that's what I'm working on.
Yeah. And in that situation, it's best to keep the news off.
Well, no, these people are really upset about the news.
Of
Uh,
course, but I mean for you to keep the news
yeah,
off.
yeah, I think it's important to obliterate the news. I really like Ben Nasalis because of his brilliancy. He's so brilliant
Yeah.
how he gathers all that information and he articulates it, except when he starts getting down on Trump to the extent that
It
he's egging Trump on. He
it
wants,
bothers even you.
not really. He
Yeah.
wants to
Yeah.
be arrested. He wants them to come for him, and then he wants to turn the tables on them. And that's why he does that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. He's got a different intention.
Yeah, yes. He's a very good lawyer, and he sides with the underprivileged people in the world. And that's why I love him. I just think he's a wonderful man. And I think a lot of people
Yes.
are wonderful on the independent news cycle, but they can't express themselves like Ben can. Ben is very, very smart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
His brothers are great, but I think Ben is he probably has a high IQ. He's just a really smart guy.
Yeah.
He's not, how Trump always calls everybody low IQ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's
It's like
ridiculous.
the finger points and there's another finger pointing too, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't even.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Trump
Okay.
tells us who he is by what he says. low IQ. I guess I know who that is.
That's Trump. Yep. Well, he's deteriorated over time. The guy is in bad shape.
It
You
would be
can,
awful to be him.
yeah, yeah. The hate, the cruelty, the narcissistic. He's quite the narcissist. And if anybody wants to study narcissism, um,
Yeah.
that's the guy to
Yeah.
study.
It's
Definitely.
good, a good list of it. Pedophilia, narcissism,
Oh my God.
uh,
Yeah.
homophobia. I mean, it's a long list of things that now are being brought to our attention and in a defining way.
So it can only crash in on him. It can only bring him down like Humpty Dumpty. It can only do
Yeah,
it. It's really the way of just a truth, it's a fact. That's what's going to happen to him. And
yeah.
in a
It's
lot of ways,
taking too long.
it is. But then when you watch the demise so publicly, which is what we are seeing right now, the demise of a human being, the fall from grace and everything. It's in Trump and
Yeah.
everything that happens. And, that's not, I don't really want to celebrate that.
No, it's not over yet. It's not, celebration time hasn't come yet.
Well, I
No.
will celebrate the total downfall
Yes,
because he has us all in in a hostage situation, I think.
right, right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
he's met his match and more than his match. And Xi Jinping, that guy is, oh my God. He's
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
he's a piece of work. Wow.
I know. Jala watches Midas touch more than I do now, but
Yeah, I do.
She
it's,
doesn't have to do solace.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really helps me not to watch the news. It really does. For the
Yeah,
job, for the job.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
it's come to the end of an hour, and I appreciate everybody being here.
thank you
Yeah.
for pulling
Yes,
us all
and
Happy
together.
birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy
yes,
birthday.
happy birthday, Julia.
I
Yeah.
thought maybe the knock at the door was a present for you, somebody bringing something.
No, it was an annoyance.
Oh,
Have a great day.
Yes, I
yeah,
will.
yeah.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Yeah.
Bye
you.
Love you
bye.
all.
Bye,
Bye,
Bye.
Sid.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Love to you all.
Love
Yep.
you, Jala.